Hi everyone, it's Terry from the Gypsy Magpie, and I'm here today to share a journal that I created for the Graphics Fairy using images from the premium member site. So, in thinking about the coming year, I wanted to create a place where I could gather and document some of my memories for 2020. I know from past experience that this was going to require some type of a system that would make it really easy for me to collect photos and notes, plus little pieces of ephemera, and also where it wasn't going to take me more than an hour or two at the end of each month to put together. So I think I've come up with exactly what will fill that bill. So this entire project was put together mostly from one single bundle on the premium member site. It was the Antique Album Pages bundle. And the base of the project is a chipboard book from Prima. It's the Hardware Memories line by Frank Garcia. I've used these books before. They come in different sizes, and every time I've used one of these, I absolutely love the result. The pages are really rigid hardboard, really strong, and they stand up well to mixed media. The best part of the book structure is that it's built with a space in between these pages. So if you are a heavy embellisher like I am, typically a regular book won't close properly. But since that's part of the design of this book, it's beautiful. It keeps your book nice. I expect that this book is going to become probably half again as fat as it is now, but at least I'm starting out with a really nice structure. All I did to this book, it's kind of like a craft paper. So what I just covered it, I painted it with some antique white chalk paint. While it was drying, I looked through and I found the perfect image of a postcard that I used for the cover. Now, I love the vintage postcards. I use them everywhere, but never have I thought to print one large enough to be the cover of something. And I gotta tell you, I adore how this came out. I printed it twice so that I had it for the front and the back. But the part that I needed to cut off to make it fit, I went ahead and used on the spine. And it's just, God, I'm so happy with it. All I did to embellish it is I tied a ribbon on it. I die cut some numbers out of some glitter paper. And once I'm done filming this, I'm actually going to use this postcard the way it was intended. I'm going to put my family's name and address on here. And it just seemed like a really cute memento. So let's take a look at what we've got. On the inside, I've got a little bit of vintage sheet music inside the front and back cover. I purposely kept everything as clean as I possibly could. I tend to sometimes have a few too many layers. I know this is a project that's going to continue to grow throughout the year as I add to it. So my whole goal here was just to set up a basic structure where, like I said, I could take maybe an hour or two tops at the end of each month and just take care of what I needed to for that month. That seemed simple enough. I should be able to do this. So the very first page in here I have set up for January 1st. I've got a little pocket that's got just some prettiness. It's a little glassine envelope that's got some silver sequin stars in there. I don't know if you can see them. And I've got a little envelope that maybe you can put your New Year's resolutions in. I don't know. This is beautiful. This is a little printable envelope that the Graphics Fairy has on the premium site. She's actually got quite a few envelopes. They look like this. You print them, you cut them, you score and fold them, and voila, you end up with a beautiful envelope. So this, I think, would be perfect to tuck some wishes for the year in and maybe seal it with a little, I don't know, maybe a little silver star. Not that anybody ever has to look back. This is my own book for my own pleasure. This pocket here was actually created from another envelope. That was, let me grab that. That's this right here. I originally was going to put quite a few more envelopes in here, but what I started wondering it was with the bulk of what I intend to add folded up envelopes may be extra layers that I didn't need. What I was really in love with was this image. So I thought, go ahead and use it. What I did was I cut it and I kept this portion of it. You can see that it kind of matches. And what I did was I scored it a 1/2 inch in from the edge and a 1/2 inch in from the edge, folded it up, and I made myself a pocket. I also folded the bottom under. This notch is just a circle punch, and I love how it looks. And it'll hold enough. It's not gonna be too bulky. This number 1 came out of a whole set of printable numbers, and they're beautiful. It's from the Antique Ephemera bundle. And if you need maybe table numbers for an event, they'd be gorgeous. So the rest of the book is structured so that every page is a month. I kept them all basically the same. I covered the base of the page with a real neutral paper. This, I think you can see it, it's just a real subtle stripe. Adds a little bit of softness so it's not just the painted book. I like how it looks. Each page has a pocket that I made out of cardstock, and I covered that little pocket with these beautiful photo frames. That is the bundle that created almost this entire book. It's the Antique Album Pages bundle. And when you print them out, they look like this. All I did was take my X-Acto, remove this center portion, and instead of putting a photo, which I could have done, I filled that little opening with vintage sheet music. And this is what I ended up with. Let me see if I can get a close-up here. I also, to put the month on each page, I used some stickers and a little piece of metal hardware to make a frame around each thing. And I am really happy with how this turned out. Got a little chenille stem on the side. Every page has that, and then the trims are different. I tried to keep the trims kind of on the sparse side, but I don't know. Maybe that's my idea of sparse. Might not be yours. So I was thinking it would be nice inside each one of these pockets to have just a little junk journal with some places to write, tuck some photos in. Started to realize if I made 12 of these, it's going to make my book awfully bulky. So I like this idea. I may use a few of them throughout, probably on the months where there's a lot going on. You know, I have a lot of months where basically nothing happens, and then all the activity seems to happen in, 3 or 4 months out of the year. So I may save these booklets and use them for that. Probably November, December, busy time. Maybe in the summer when things are kind of pick up. But for now, I thought I would share it's a thought for keeping some of your memories. Another idea that may work is to simply make some envelopes. Again, this is one of the printable envelopes off the membership site. This one would actually be perfect. If I did 12 of these, I could stamp the month right on there and tuck in whatever I wanted. So that's option 2. Option 3, and maybe I'll use just a combination of all of these. I love these photo frames, photo mats. These also came from the Antique Album Pages bundle. And these are just plain. To me, they're plain, they're generic, they're chameleons. I use them all the time in my journals because I can go ahead and I can fussy cut images. I can stamp images on them. They're all this color, but I've even watered down some acrylic paint or gesso and just kind of given them a wash just to change the color slightly. But as generic as they are, they work in so many places. So I was thinking I might be able to use some of these here and there. I might use them every month. I don't know. I would simply cut that center out like it's intended, slip a photo in, cover the back with some lined paper, and that would allow me to do a little bit of journaling. It would also be cute to punch a tiny little hole in the top and maybe put a real thin ribbon or just a colorful string or yarn, embroidery floss, something like that. That'd be cute tucked in here and there. So we've got January and February. For the rest of the book, what I've done for now, I've just slipped an envelope in. It gives me a place to at least collect up what I hope to work with at the end of each month. So we've got March, April. I particularly love this. I don't know what that flower is, but it's so pretty. We've got May with all of its trim. June. That frame is so colorful and pretty, but it looks like it actually represents the 4 seasons, which I kind of like. I thought about using that on the cover of the book, and it found its way onto this page instead, but it actually would have been lovely printed out, put on the cover in going this direction, because you have the entire year of flowers there. I wanted to share this trim too. This is actually vintage. When I was just 17, I worked in a fabric store, and I still have rolls and rolls and rolls of trim. And these have always been some of my favorites. It came in a lot of different colors, and I've just collected it and used it here and there over the years. We've got July with a little velvet here. August, and again, just envelopes tucked in there for now. I'm really thinking this system is going to work well. I'm also not, I'm trying to remind myself I don't have to have every day of the month documented. If I went somewhere, if somebody came to visit, if I found something cool out on my travels, I'm just going to snip a photo, write a sentence or two about it, and let it be. I think one of my downfalls in the past has been creating a project that was so massive it was doomed to failure. We've got October here. For November and December, I approached it slightly different. Since I know those are going to be busy months, I left the other side of the 2-page spread with a pocket, because here I know I'm going to put more into these. I figured Thanksgiving time, a lot of friends, family come to visit during the month of November. This one will probably fill quickly. So, you know, it's got little envelopes in it. Again, one of those beautiful envelopes from the printables section. Check out the printables section. There are things that you may never have imagined exist on there. There are square coasters, they're called, but 4-inch squares. They make beautiful collage backgrounds on tiny little canvases. There are bookmarks. There are, again, envelopes. It's worth taking 10 minutes to look through. You'll find something to make a project out of. This pocket was created from one of the printable CD covers. The colors were really pretty for the autumn. And December, there's no way I was going to pass up the opportunity to use this. It says, "From the Desk of Santa Claus." It's so cute. This is also an envelope. I went ahead and turned it into a pocket. I discovered these tiny little party bags are perfect to tuck a note in. And another little glassine bag. I just threw some red confetti in. They're just to cute it up. Serves no purpose. December, and then the very last page in the book would be a nice place to do kind of a wrap up of the year. So this again is one of the envelopes. This one is pretty. It came from the Collage Ephemera bundle, and I stamped on this. What you get is this blank label. I stamped reflections on this, and this seemed like a good place to kind of, I don't know, kind of tie up the year nicely, tuck it in, and I hope a year from now This is filled and full of memories. I absolutely love this style of journal. I am certain that I'm going to be making more of these. As I was making this, I'm so unfaithful. As I'm working on one project and excited about it, I'm already thinking of 6 more things I'm going to do. I think I might make one of these with a birthday theme. How cute would that be to use it as kind of like a perpetual birthday book where you add a page, you do one of the pages for each year that passes. Maybe put the highlights of your year. I don't know. Now I'm really excited to do that. Maybe a gratitude book. You can fill it with the special things that your family celebrates every year at Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is fresh in my mind. You could, you could have traditions in there. You could have recipe cards that are your family's recipes that you've handed down, or that they're just the recipes that make your Thanksgiving meal yours. I think I'm going to do the same thing for all of my trips to the wine country. We do that a lot with friends, and I thought maybe adding a page whenever a special weekend pops up would be cute. Something I could grab along the way is some of the wine labels or tasting notes. Tuck them in with some photos, maybe business cards from the restaurants we go to. Even the menus from our picnics would be cute. So I don't know. The wheels are turning in my head. But I'm definitely going to be making some more of these. So thank you so much for stopping by today. Be sure and check back each week with the Graphics Fairy to see what the other designers are up to. They're always making something wonderful. I wish happy holidays to you and yours, and I'll see you next year. Happy crafting. Go make something amazing. Bye.